So I thought, since yesterday was my 48th birthday, that we could talk about me.
About you?
About me.
Okay.
Well, and I guess the most linear way to talk about me would be to start at the beginning. What was your pregnancy like with me?
Normal.
Yeah?
Yeah. Gained a lot of weight.
I remember you telling me I was very late from the due date.
Yes. You were expected on the 3rd of January.
And I was born on the 30th. No, 27 days late. That seems pretty excessive. Do you think they got it wrong?
Well, that's possible. But that's the way. I remember the doctor said if you don't go into labor in the next couple of days, we're going to make you go into labor.
So, was Hannah excited crossing her birthday that maybe I would be born on her birthday?
No. The only one that was excited and very disappointed was our friend Tony Hansen.
Mm-hmm.
His birthday was on the 29th.
Oh.
And he wanted so desperate, I don't know why, for you to be born on the 29th. But you waited till 1:10 in the morning on the 30th.
And how much did I weigh?
Close to 10 pounds, I would say 9, 11, even I'm sure. Yeah, no big boy.
So I remember you once telling me a story that you were in your hospital bed with me and you and all the family were in the room smoking cigars. Was that true?
Cigarettes.
Oh, it wasn't cigars, it was cigarettes. That makes it better.
Yeah. Yeah, at that time you were allowed to smoke in the hospital, in your bedside.
It seems almost unimaginable now that you'd have a room full of people smoking around a newborn.
Yeah, but they clean up the room and your table and everything, and there's a clean ashtray. If you wanted to smoke, you smoke.
That's a different day and age.
Yeah.
Oh.
We did at that time, even the other kids.
Did you stay in the hospital long?
Oh, I think 6 days.
That seems like a long time.
No, that was normal. At that time you stayed a week. That was normal. I think 6 days.
So, what was I like as a baby?
Pretty good. Didn't cry too much. Except when you had a dirty bum when you were hungry.
Yeah.
So,
Any baby stories? Anything stick out?
yeah. I have a picture of it somewhere. You stay and always ended up on your knees, sleeping with your bum in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Always. I can put you down on the side and or in the back, and the next time I come in and check at you, the bum is in the air. Laying all four sleeping. And you had a big white stuffy elephant.
Right.
Yeah. Sitting in the crib. That's one thing. We had a cat. And it had always been an indoor cat. And then I found a couple of times I come in and find the cat on top of your head. So I was afraid he was going to suffocate you. So after that, he was outside.
So, I was named David Robert. Where did David come from?
That's a name I always liked. Actually, when John was born, I wanted to name him David, but your dad didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So when I had another boy, it was going to be David.
And the Robert?
That was a name that your older brother gave to you.
Henry.
Yeah. He thought it would be a nice fit, David Robert.
Yeah. Flows as decent as any, I suppose.
Yeah. At that time it was Anderson.
And did you have a name picked out if I had been born a girl?
Diana.
Diana.
Yeah.
And so what was I like as a toddler?
Busy.
Busy?
Busy, busy, busy. Always playing with your truck and singing. You were not very old before you started to sing. What's the song? Ring of Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, you loved that song since you were tiny.
Yeah, I still like it to this day.
Yeah.
Do you remember how old I was when I started reading?
No, for school age, I don't think, well, sometimes the girls are always, when you bucket off, somebody reads you a story, and then you could, I don't think you could read, but you remember them, remember it, and could talk, tell the story that way.
How do you feel my brothers and sisters reacted and acted towards me as the youngest one by far? Because they were all born, one to the other within a year or two of each other, and then there was me 7 years down the road, right?
Yeah. I know Henry adored you. He thought that was the cat's ass to have a young brother.
Mm-hmm.
John, he was going to teach you how to hunt when you got older. Because hunting was something, the nature was John's forte.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hannah, she mothered you. Nina, when she got older, was quite upset when she had to babysit. Yeah, so she's always been upset.
When did you put skates on me for the first time?
Oh, you were probably about 4 or 5 years old. 5, let's say. Henry bought you the skates for Christmas. Tiny little thing. I don't know where he found them, but he found them and he was going to teach you to skate.
Well, he did. So I ended up being pretty good at hockey when I was in minor hockey.
Yeah. Scored a lot of goals, yeah.
Did you have a lot of fun being a hockey mom?
Oh yeah, it was fun going to the arena, but there were so many things to do at that time, and I was the only one doing it.
Right.
Girl Scouts for the girls, figure skating for the girls, hockey for you, and then the hockey for the older ones. Always something. Yeah, and many times people ask me, what do you do up there in the sticks? You should live up here, do everything I do.
Yeah.
You know, it was keeping house and shopping and cleaning, looking after kids and going to hockey and going to figure skating.
Well, small town Ontario was a wonderful place to grow up, but it obviously had very, very positive points and very, very negative points.
Oh yeah. Well, negative. Lots of negative.
Yeah. So, obviously, when I was a kid, I feel like I had a lot more personal freedom than my kids enjoyed. Because it's a common memory for me to, get shooed out the door by you after breakfast or something, and sometimes not come back till dinner or later. And what do you think about the change now?
Well, it's sad because at that time you could tell them go out and sure the other things happen here and there that shouldn't have happened, but you go out and play or walk to school or whatever without being in trouble or having to be walked to school.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays you can't do that. It's sad that you don't have that freedom to be independent and go to school.
Mm-hmm.
You always had to hang on to mom or dad nowadays to go to school. Read the ribbon to school.
What do you feel like I was like as a kid? What's your memory, your observation? What did you think of me as a kid?
You were fairly easygoing. And you like to walk. You and I, we walked kilometers, or I should say mile at that time. At least 3 miles a day. We walked. Looking at nature, never even considered we might run into a bear on the road. When we first moved up in this small town, we were only about more than a year and a half, and we started walking. You walk a little bit and I carry you a little bit. We walk some more until we took that round trip, which I figure is about at least 1.5 miles, if not 2 miles. But we enjoyed it. Throwing stones, picking flowers, whatever. When we went, look at the beaver. Yapping away with your little baby dog.
So I remember, and well, obviously, school came very easy for me. I was always very good at learning.
Well, they probably, if I know Nina, she probably sat you down and told you how to write 1, 2, 3 and add them up, and that would be Nina when she babysat you.
Yeah, but I mean, like when I eventually got into school and the older brothers and sisters weren't part of my life, I don't know, I naturally took to learning.
Yeah.
One of the hardest things for me, remembering back, is how bullied I was in that town and in school. I faced a lot of bullying in Harcourt. Were you aware of how much I was experiencing?
No. I knew off and on you said, well, they always after me. At that time, I think Bill told you fight back.
It's not easy to fight back against a group of them.
No.
But eventually I kind of grew too big for anybody to pick on me anymore.
Mm.
So what was I like for you as a teenager?
You liked, well, once we moved to BC, you picked up some friends and had a heck of a good time on the beach and with your friend and their dad. They took you in the boat and
You're talking about Donna?
yeah, and you learn how to. You get so proud you come home with clams and had to cook them for Bill and me. You cook them so and so much and that's it.
Yeah, Sunshine Coast was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it there.
And fishing and you loved to be down on the docks and eventually you got a job down there selling herring or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there anything else about me or my childhood or growing up that you want to share that really sticks out for you?
I'll say you were a hard worker as a teenager. You helped out in the restaurant. You did your share of hard work there because it wasn't easy to be a waitress, a waiter. Because you got to have a good memory. You can order from one table to the other table to the other table, but you still have, when the food come up, know where it goes. You know, to which table it went to. Or do they want tea or do they want coffee?
It was a big learning curve.
Yeah. It was. And then when you were off your shift, off to the arcade.
I love the arcade.
And if I needed David, I had to go and get him.
Yeah, it was before cell phones.
Yeah.
So we spent probably through my 20s and my 30s, we lived quite distant from each other.
Yeah.
And our contact was fairly sporadic.
Off and on the phone, yeah.
Yeah, a few visits to you up in Quatsino.
Yeah. I remember when you found that big octopus.
You and I walking on the beach. Yeah. And I remember there was a couple of eagles pecking away at it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I hope they don't get it. I want that tooth.
Yeah, the octopus beak. That's cool.
They have one tooth. I don't know if you ever got it.
I did get it, but it I don't know what happened to it. So what did you think? What was your observation of when I met Tanya and started having children? What did you...
All the joy. When you first met Tanya, when I first met her, she was already pregnant.
Yeah, she was 6 months pregnant.
Yeah.
That's when we came up to Quatsino, right?
Yeah. But at that time, I thought she was a nice girl. It might fit in nicer, but...
Yeah, ended up not working out that way. But I mean, I got 2 beautiful kids out of it.
Yeah.
You know? They're nice, they're smart, they're loving, they love their grandma. Yeah, now here we are. I'm 48. You're living with me.
Yeah.
Sarah's moved out, but we still have Logan at home.
And 2 dogs.
2 dogs, 2 cats.
2 cats. And one of them is Bruno.
Yeah, well, Bruno's kind of left me for you, I think, for the most part.
I know.
He's welcomed you with open arms.
Yeah. Better that than the other way.